You are live on video here. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Just getting set up. Yeah, so... Sorry, I just... I don't know why my brain
If I'm yelling, just let me know.
You'll hear it. You're good. Right? Let's adjust this to this bit. Still figuring stuff out, but we're getting there.
I like the setup.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I mean,
Where'd you get this bad boy, if you don't mind me asking?
Best Buy.
Yeah?
Yeah, it comes with a kit. It's like podcaster kit or whatever.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it comes with the whole like setup. This was an addition in like the little phone piece is an addition, but it's cheap. And then it's USB, so I just use a little splitter. Can you guys see? I use a little splitter so I get my iPhone charging. So that's what charges the iPhone cable, charges the whole thing. And then the USB is what kind of does the sound and attaches to the microphone. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's like, I mean, I think it sounds pretty good personally.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Sounds great on. Let me go ahead and crack this.
Love that sound on there.
Oh, it sounds so crisp and clean and good. I know.
Well, you get an advertisement with them. Start off every episode like that.
Oh, that's brilliant. See, I love that. I need that. Let's do that. Where you at, LaCroix? Where you at, LaCroix? Huh?
I take that
Sponsor.
whatever I said before. This is really good.
Sponsorship. Yeah. Alrighty then. I've got this bad boy. We'll just have it right here just in case we need to look anything up.
Go Brew Crew, by the way.
Ooh. Shout out to, who is it?
Milwaukee. It's their old school. I love their Braves one, but that's not. I'm not gonna wear that because my sweaty head.
Okay, I got
Get
you.
all the sweat stains on there.
I got you. If you need some notes, you got some stuff there.
Just look at the old hat. Old blue.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this. All right. What's going on, everybody? Here we are. We're back. We've got the, like I said in my Facebook and my Instagram little teaser.
Ooh.
I've got Alex Buckley. He's a gem of a human being. He's a heart of gold. And I couldn't be more honored to have you here. So thank you so much for being here, man.
Shane, buddy, it's an honor to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome to another edition of the CrazyFaceUno podcast. Again, we're with Alex Buckley. Alex, how's it going, man?
It's a really good day. It's gorgeous outside. It's on the beach.
You know what? I suck at life.
A little sunburn.
Hey, we're gonna do take two. Take two. You guys get it, the full access to all of this bloopers, okay? Bloopers. We're gonna do it again. See which one I did better. And comment below and let me know first take or second take was better. You ready?
Yeah.
Take two.
Love
Sorry, I didn't hit record. What's going on, everybody? We're here, back in the studio. We've got a gem of a human being, like I said in my little teaser on Facebook and Instagram. His name is Alex Buckley. I love him to death. He's got a heart of gold, and I couldn't be more happy and honored to have you here today, Alex. Welcome.
Shane, buddy, thanks. Appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
Welcome to another edition of the CrazyFaceUno podcast. How's your day been? You were at the beach today.
I'm a little red.
Not
little
bad,
sunburn,
though.
Not too
Not
bad.
bad.
First time I ever had suntan lotion.
Ooh.
It was, I thought, like, okay, it's like 10 SPF, so I won't burn completely. Well, it just, apparently you get more sun rays that way, so
There you go.
my pasty self will feel tomorrow, but not too bad, so.
I don't think you look too bad. I know you like to burn, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, let me give you all a rundown on Alex. I have on my notes the first thing, you even mentioned it, we've got a little yellow and a little green here.
Go Pack Go.
He's a Packers fan. We won't hold that against him. We had Josh on here too. You recently got engaged.
I did.
Within the last year, and you've been prepping for your wedding and getting things set up for that.
It's unbelievable, man. Like, you know well, it just never stops.
Never stops. No, not until it happens. And then you're like, thank God this is done.
And then you gotta say hi to everybody, shake hands. Like, you probably didn't even get a chance to eat.
Yeah, we actually didn't have too bad a time eating.
Good.
Which was good. The food was so good where we went.
Dude.
You were there. Duh. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, we
awesome.
tried that. We tried that food. The food is like always a thing, you know? Like, it's such a thing. I'm sure you guys are trying to figure that out.
We just decided, but a little contention. I wanted the beef tips for an option, but she wanted the pork roast. No, not the roast. It's shredded pork.
Okay. Well, you know, win some, you lose some.
It's good red meat.
In the end, you win.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, I get
happy
pork
bride, happy husband.
Exactly. I got the liney set up, so that's what matters.
Oh, okay. There we go. Dang, that sounds awesome. You were an education assistant too, like myself, at South Campus, but recently, as in like very recent, you were hired as the new DAPE, which is the Developmental Adaptive Physical Education Teacher. I believe I said all that right.
Absolutely.
For South Campus with the School District 916 and here in White Bear Lake.
I'm so stoked. I can't wait to start.
Yeah.
Especially community-based outings we can keep going with. The swimming program, I really think that's a really strong program, but also maybe some bowling opportunities or just different stuff we can do. Maybe disc golf by the YMCA course there. You know. Yeah,
you've been working so hard. I know you still are in school, right?
Yeah, I got.
Technically, you got a few more classes you got to take, but
I think I got 3 more years now.
Okay, but maybe you're in the place where you can officially start teaching and continuing your education as you go.
Yeah,
which is an awesome program at South Campus.
I love what they do there, and I know like Sid, Eric.
Yeah,
that's what they're utilizing right now. Eric's pretty damn near close done, right?
He's pretty close, I think.
Yeah, he's been at it for a while. Well, when I started at South, it was when his first year teaching, so is it tenure this year for him? Technically,
man, I don't know. He might be.
I gotta learn all
this
stuff.
Him. Yeah, I didn't ask. But yeah, I think it's awesome. I mean, I know everybody that I know, you know, like our friends are all really excited for you, and
thanks, bro.
We all think it's a really great opportunity, and I think you're gonna kick some tail, man. You're gonna do so good.
Can't wait to learn, make some mistakes, and learn from those mistakes. And that's what it's about ultimately, you know.
That's just a part of life.
Yeah.
Just a product of like, just going through life. You learn and you move forward, and you try not to make those same mistakes again. Speaking of this, so I think this is a great segue into just your life in general, and I mentioned it to you. Yes, it's a great segue. And have you ever been on one of the like segues?
No, I've just seen the Joe Bluth bit where he like. Oh, I love it.
Oh, that is good, man, Mr. Bluth, banana stand. But yeah, you have lived a unique life. You know, not a lot of people can necessarily say they've like grown up the way you have and in the environment that you have. But I think it's a great example to why you're going to be such a great DAPE teacher at
Thanks, bro.
South Campus. Do you mind just kind of like starting from the beginning, maybe like growing up and kind of tell us about your family and your life?
I have 3 brothers. I'm the oldest. 2 of them, both middle brothers, have autism. We're on the autism spectrum. Right. And there's some other medical stuff going on too, like seizures and epilepsy. But
yeah, I
think that's actually the bigger concern.
Yeah.
And we went to Omaha to get some surgery done.
Okay.
Like they were down there for a month at a time, and
yeah.
Ryan's was better, so he has more kind of staring spells, but
okay.
Sammy has the longer, the shake, you know, where they're shaking and they don't breathe for a minute and you see his lips turn blue, bro.
That's so scary.
There's not a seizure that's like just like they're all scary to me.
Yeah.
But like
yeah.
when they don't breathe, like shit.
Yeah. So how old were you when your two brothers were born or kind of came into your life?
So I'm 2 years older than Rye, 5 than Sam.
Okay. So you were 2 and like 7.
Yeah.
Somewhere
We went down to Utah for a year because there's supposed to be a special school for Rye Guy.
Okay.
And that's what Sam was actually born in Utah.
Okay.
We were down in Salt Lake for about half a year, and then Lehigh.
Okay.
The other half. And
now, did you guys know from birth? Or did they kind of
typical? It takes about a couple of years for you to find the
finally kind of start to see some of those. Yeah.
Unlike, some disabilities, you're like, oh, right away. Like, sometimes autism just takes a little, couple 2-3 years to diagnose.
Sure. Yeah. And how? I mean, did you maybe when you were younger? How did you comprehend that? Like as a young kid, 5, 7, like you're starting to like, those are developmental years for yourself, like kind of learning that your brothers are just a little bit different than you and they do things a little bit different than you do and have extra needs. And what was that experience like for you?
It was tough because, there's some people that they don't know the specific needs or why they behave the way they do.
Right.
Especially the limited expressive language. Like, I think people just didn't know how to communicate. It's not that they didn't want to. Or some people really made an effort, but, it's tough.
It's such a tough thing. Even for, I don't know if you've found this, but myself, like, we work in special education. Well, technically, I've officially submitted my resignation as of yesterday/today. And so I don't work with you anymore.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a good run, bro.
Yeah, and we'll get to that on a later podcast. Yeah. But yeah, so that's something. But just coming from this world, like I've grown up in the special education world. My mom worked in special education. I've got family members that have special needs as well. But even though that we have the occupation that we have and we work in the field that we do, when you're out in public and you see people that have, whether it's autism or whatever, wherever they're at in life and whatever special education, special need that they have, it's hard for me even, it's hard to know how to engage those people or put parents and the people that are with them just at ease. Like, hey, I get it. Yeah. Without being like, well, I work in the special education field. I understand, right? But it's like you want to be nice and you want to be like, you can see the look on people's faces sometimes where you're like, they are so uncomfortable and they just want other people to be okay.
Yeah.
But there's this anxiousness and this nervousness that you kind of feel. Yeah. And so how do you do that, even from their perspective and from mine, of being like, hey, everything's okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think it's just saying hi, right? Like, hey, how's it going, man?
Just initial, hey.
Yeah. Boom, high five. But like, it's just hard. And maybe you can kind of speak to this with having family members and kind of you've dealt with this probably more than I ever have. But what are some of the best ways to like engage with somebody that maybe that is having a hard time, or maybe they're not, maybe you can just notice that they have they're special. They're different. How would you suggest people?
I love your idea of the just hi, hey. Yeah. That's the basic human interaction, like starting point. Like that's what we teach our kids. That's what we were taught as kids. Yeah. Hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
Have a smile on your face. Don't look like you want to rip their head off.
Yeah.
But this, it's funny. My mom, back when she was, just starting off with knowing that Ryan and Sam had autism, she saw a parent at the supermarket with a kid with a disability, and she looked at him like trying to do the same deal, like, hey, hi, and then she must have looked a little too long, and the mom said, want to look a little longer? And she got like a little defensive, and
that's the worry, right?
Like,
and that's the fear of like, how do you engage? And it's not, sometimes for me at least, like, man, that world is so intriguing to me in a lot of ways, and like this is what we deal with on a daily basis all day long. And so like,
because they're just protecting their baby,
right.
like, I can't fault
And
them
you
for it,
get
but at
it.
the same time, you're like, maybe I shouldn't say hi. Like, am I going to offend them?
Right.
Like, but, I mean...
It's a two-way street. I guess it's just so difficult and so hard. Like, there isn't a clear-cut way. And like you said, just saying hi, it sounds easier than it really is sometimes.
Maybe she did look a little too long. It was just like, staring,
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
And of course, it's just her take, but... Nothing. And then she said, I don't want to ever be that parent. Well, I've seen her do that before, though.
Right.
You know, see some kid snickering or something, and she lashes out at them, like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then I would, it's funny, I'd always ask how you feel. I would always feel embarrassed, not for Mom, but for Ryan or Sam.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
like, that'd be like, you know, I wouldn't want my parents sticking up for me if I ever had, you know, a disagreement or a fight at school. Like, I want to take care of my shit. So that's how I just, like, thought that's how they would feel.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you're not embarrassing me, per se. It's more like, come on.
Yeah, and I think that's a misconception from people, too, that maybe they don't, maybe, you know, your brothers or people with special needs don't understand exactly, like, the same way we do, but they get it. Like, they really do.
So
like,
perceptive, man.
Yeah, they know when people are treating them nice or not.
Yeah.
That's just I think it's an innate thing within us, really. I mean...
Survival, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. It's such a complex issue.
Are you trying to screw me over? Are you trying to help me?
Yeah.
It's a basic human, like...
Right.
No matter who you are, you got to figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, so let's get back. You, as you were growing up, I know you've helped out a lot within your family and helped with your brothers and helped out. What was that experience like for you?
I wish I would have known then what I knew now.
Sure.
Like, especially the swag stuff we learned. Holy smokes, that's empowering.
You want to break swag down for
space, especially for my younger brother, Sam. I mean, he needs a lot of space sometimes.
Yeah.
Waiting. Sometimes processing time takes a while. Ask. Instead of telling him to do something, ask. Because big thing you push is independence. That's especially something I coddled them too much. I should have asked them to do stuff more instead of just anticipate their needs.
Mm-hmm.
And then G gesture.
Yeah.
You know, kids that do well with sign language, ASL, or like my one bro, Rye, he does really well with partial physical prompts sometimes because they'll get stuck.
Yeah.
This apraxia, I guess Mom calls it. I'm not a medical guy, but and also just sometimes, you know, hey, you know, sit down or, you know, stand up. Like, just listens better. Sam, completely nonverbal if he's ticked.
Sure.
So.
And it's learning to respond in those moments, and how those are things that we deal with at school too. It's knowing that, man, when someone is in crisis or when they're having a behavior, of how to communicate with them and the best way to do that, and whether that's
something you do really well is relationship building.
I think that relationship building is very important. Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
You're too strong.
Appreciate that. Yeah. So we've got a little juice here, and
McNeely inspired cocktail, which is very good actually.
Yeah. Got our...
I hate to say actually, like that implies that they're not good. So take move on my part.
No, I got these like fun little swirly straws, but they're like really tiny, so it's hard to like drink through them. So I got 2 straws in there. But
I could have attached 1 straw. No, it's just gonna be a mess.
Alex, how do you think that your like experience growing up with your brothers and just working with them has like prepared you for, I mean, you've kind of touched on this a little bit, but prepared you for your upcoming role as the DAPE teacher at South Campus?
Stuff I've seen my whole life, like use of a lot of visuals. Our kids need extra visual supports and just patience. You know, sometimes we're teaching something that might take 6 months, a year, 2 years.
Right.
But in the end, it's all about, you know, those small steps mean everything sometimes.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
yeah, for sure, patience and just willing to try new stuff too and adapt.
Yeah.
You think you know it all, you don't. So
No.
then ask, just constantly, something I really pride myself is asking other people questions. Collaborating
Yeah.
is kind of the buzzword people like. That's just really asking, like my dad always said, you learn 2 ways, by reading or asking people that are smarter than you questions.
Right.
And I find that very true.
Yeah. That's a really great way. You know, there's a book that I really like by, his name's Simon Sinek. and it says it's Start With Why. It's a great book. I think I've recommended to you, but definitely check it out if it's something you're interested in. But it's kind of the same idea in some ways. It's just like asking questions why, like understanding the why behind things. And whether it's you're listening to the CrazyFaceUno podcast, or you're looking at the things that we're doing, and you can ask, well, why did he post that picture, right? Well, I posted a picture of you before this podcast because I want people to know what to expect tomorrow, right? Because I'm going to be posting this podcast a day after, just because this is your availability and this is what works for everybody. And but it's just kind of like teasing, this is what's coming, so people know.
It's good promotion.
Right. Or to the simple things of like, well, why do we have bikes at South Campus? Why do we do these things? Like, and understanding why, and like, so then you can expound on the idea or expound on the like concept, or just asking like, hey, what do you think about this idea? And hearing what people say. Like, I completely agree, especially as a new teacher. Like, you've already, I know, I've seen it firsthand. You've already been bombarded with people like, what are you going to do? How are you going to change
My favorite
things?
is, are you excited? One of these days I want to be sarcastic. No. But I don't want to be that guy either.
Right. No, but I mean, and I think that it's more so that people are excited for you and they want to let you know that they know and like that they are excited. But
it's genuine.
It's just interesting how we as human beings, like, we interact with each other.
Yeah.
And it was just those simple things, but for sure, asking questions, so huge. And I mean, man, that's just a life lesson, I think, for everybody, that just ask questions. Just ask, Don't be so stuck in your way, and try to figure things out and change and adapt and adjust and be flexible. And I don't know.
I think that's why Google's great, but it's also not. People are losing the art form of,
critical thinking,
asking the right questions, who to ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just
we know a lot, but do we really? We rely a lot on certain things. As always, Chance is here. He's giving his paws a little lick, so
simple boy.
How about you relax? He's got that back paw all tucked in there. Yeah, so interesting. Have you felt like through your education, like through your like college program that you're in, have you felt like you've like gained a lot of knowledge from that?
Oh yeah, especially like how you approach learning. What I don't know if you had the same experience when I was, because we were about the same age.
Yeah.
It was more teacher talking to the students.
Mm-hmm.
We did a few group projects throughout the year, but it was mostly sit down, write the notes, listen to the lecture.
Was yours mostly online, or did you have
for college?
Yeah, or I don't know.
Mixture of online and face to face.
Okay.
And then it didn't like happen till college where I became a good writer and like learner actually.
Yeah. It takes time to figure it out. Man, I wish I could go back. I wish I could go back to the college years and kind of like you said, like know what I knew now, like what I know now, because I feel like I've learned so much more, like my style of learning and like how I learn. I think I'd be a better studier. I think I'd be a better just a student overall. I have much more of a hunger nowadays to learn and to like soak in knowledge than I probably ever did before,
Well, I'm sorry you booked me. Hopefully you'll get some smarter guys.
Look at you downplaying yourself. Man, you guys just gotta like own it. I wouldn't have you on here if I didn't think you were a smart guy. I can tell you that. No, everybody that comes on, like everybody that I work with and everybody at South Campus, like I value you guys so much because I've learned things from you guys, like I love to observe and to watch and see, and man, we all are different.
Top 3 people watching spots for you.
Ooh, that's a good question. People, like, just in general.
I've got 3, maybe 4.
I mean, I think one that's really fun for sure is just a park. Yeah. Just a regular old park. Like, Dana and I recently went to, like, Lake Calhoun over in Minneapolis and just sat and hung out with Chance and just watched people walk by and read a book and relax and whatever, but it's fascinating just to watch like groups of people and, you know, couple sitting down at the bench, and then you see the couple walking, and the best part is like when you can be like, oh, like first date, totally first date,
Yeah.
you know, or you're like, you can tell like
breakup.
yeah,
I saw that
like,
at
that's not good.
the local fair the other night, and I was just made me think of that question. Like, there's some good people watching like opportunities.
That's
like you see
one.
it all.
State fair is definitely Minnesota State Fair is there's not I don't know if there's any better than the Minnesota State Fair.
MSP maybe.
Ooh,
Although state fair, you see everybody. Like MSP just kind of, although the fun is that you get a snapshot of different people in different parts of the world or the country, but no, state fair is definitely top 3.
Yeah, state fair is definitely top 3. I mean, the airport's always really interesting. I always wonder what people are doing. Like, where are they going? What are they on a trip? Is it business? Is it family? Is it vacation? I also get that same thought, like, just during the day, especially like in the summer when we have the summers off and stuff. Where there's so many people out and about, and you're like, "What do you guys do all day?" Like, yeah, like, I'm saying it for myself, but like, what do you guys do all day? Like,
don't you work?
Why are there so many people out and about?
I was working part time.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I mean, there's 3. What are your 3 people watching places?
State fair for sure, like you said. Airport and the mall.
The mall is always great. It's fascinating, especially like on a Friday night.
Maybe IKEA's 4th.
IKEA.
Because that's in itself a mall.
Yeah. We also are kind of spoiled here in the Twin Cities.
Yes.
Everybody listening, if you're from the Twin Cities, you get it. If you're not, then you don't quite understand, I don't think, because the only thing that people think Minnesota is, or is about, is snow and cold. And yes, it is terrible in the winter. I will 100% guarantee you'll be miserable during the winter. It just sucks.
Unless you're a polar bear. And it's not even a good joke, it's just the truth. It gets to negative 35, bro.
You're right.
Was it that bad in Indiana?
No, it's never that bad. Maybe up north, like closer to...
that's right. You weren't in the northern part.
Yeah, I went to college up in South Bend, Mishawaka area, but which we still had some lake effect snow and still got some of that, but it still wasn't that cold. We had one winter that was really bad, but...
Was it your senior year of college, perchance?
June.
That year we had 2 feet of snow at Eau Claire.
Junior or senior, it may have been my senior year. I don't know. There was one year we had a really, like, they actually, I think it was the first time they called off classes in like 30 years or 25 years or something like that. It may have been senior. I don't remember which one it was. Yeah, it was something crazy, but the Twin Cities are pretty awesome. Like, again, the mall. Like, you say the mall. Yeah, we have your normal malls as well, but we're also home to the Mall of America. And there's definitely some great people watching there.
Oh, for sure.
Our airport, the MSP, like, it's an international airport. Like, there's plenty of people, plenty of things to see. Lots of people traveling, coming in and out. It's a hub for a few different, airlines. And then
4, 5 pro sports teams.
Yeah, I mean, we've got
the Lynx are the real champions here.
Seriously, way underrated.
Yeah. Alliance now.
Honestly, like the Lynx, and then isn't the lacrosse team really good too? The girls.
Wait, there's a lacrosse team?
Isn't there a women's like professional lacrosse team that's really good?
No, that's a sport I've always wanted to try, and looks like a lot of fun. But super East Coast.
Yeah, it kind of is a little more.
They take it more serious than football.
It's growing though. It's definitely growing. I feel like lacrosse reminds me now, like nowadays, of like soccer when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So it's like this up and coming sport that's kind of like
they just don't have a national platform like we did when the women won, when Mia Hamm and Brandy Chastain. I mean, everybody remembers that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was it 1-0 against China or something? I forget. It was a low scoring game though.
It was
just like the other day.
Had so many good ones. Yeah.
You watched that one?
No, I didn't watch it, but I saw the article. I read an article about it. Like
Rapinoe was clutch,
super close, and the
2
last
penalty kicks.
Yeah, like at the end of the game. Yeah. Right? Jeez Louise, that's crazy.
And they're not getting paid the same as these guys. They should be paid way more.
Yeah, you're right. It's true. Yeah, there's definitely a man. That's such a crazy topic. There's definitely a gap between professional athletes, like professional male athletes and professional women athletes. yeah, it's, we see it. I'm sure that, man, I don't want to downplay that at all. So please don't misunderstand me. The fact that women professionally don't get paid as much as men professionally, I don't want to downplay that. I think that there's some elements of we consume, so we are consumers. There is an element of the way that society consumes entertainment, sports, different things that that is different, but then when you look at it that way, is it from the wrestling world, right? Like, I love wrestling. I think more people would enjoy wrestling if they watched it and understood it, right? But it's different. And so, like, if you put wrestling if you put it up there and had more people, more accessibility, like people had the access to watching it more often, would they be more apt to, like, would that sport grow more, Would they be apt to, like, professional wrestlers in the, American wrestlers don't get paid very well. They're not great athletes. They get paid through the Olympics and
right.
through some of these things, but
they get
it's
their money
not
through
the same.
Sponsorships and all that stuff.
Right. And so my question, I guess, is, like, would it be the same if we put if there was a little more equality in putting sports up, or women's sports, like, front and center, like they do some of men's sports? Would there be more of a draw? Would that sport grow? Would those sports grow? Man, and
I think
that's
so. I think that if given the opportunity, I mean, it took, the major sports years and decades to get their footing for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Football might be even football in their beginning, they didn't have a lot of viewership. So I think it's just a commitment to the equity, I think, and then the opportunity.
Yeah.
And then eventually you'll get your viewership.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I think it's more of an issue of the guys that are like, I don't want to watch girls play sports. Just give it a chance, man.
Yeah.
They're great athletes too.
I tell you, one of the most underrated women's sports that I love, absolutely love, is women's softball.
Fucking phenomenal.
Far and away better than, like, baseball, professional. But I would rather watch college girls softball, women's softball all day long.
Those ladies can log in like 14, 16 innings of pitching in a weekend. It's nuts.
It's nuts. And it's just entertaining. It's fun to watch. Like,
the chants and the cheers and the energy. It's unmatched.
So fun.
I mean,
it's so fun.
When I used to play ball, the guys would be like, oh, that shit's dumb, those cheers. Like, no, it's just good team rapport. And, sometimes I think baseball could take a page out of softball.
I completely agree.
You'll get some sour fucking whiners on the bench, and man, that kills a vibe. You play enough sports, you get that positive mentality. Like, in order to, like, especially in team sports, you have to have a cohesive, unified plan, execution, and energy too. If you lack the energy, it's not gonna happen.
Well, and they just make it fun, you know? And, like, it's so fun. It's entertaining. There's so much action. There's lots of scoring. There's lots of stuff. Like, it's just a good product. Women's softball, spot on, amazing. And I don't know, like, I don't watch basketball at all. So, like, women's
you're not
basketball,
a basketball guy. That's right.
Yeah,
it's
not
hard
that
to watch. The older I get, it's harder to watch unless it's college girls or college guys basketball.
Yeah, or just when it gets to, like, playoff time.
Yeah,
I'm more likely to watch it. So, like, for me to watch men's professional basketball is, like, it takes quite a bit. Like, I didn't watch any this year, but I like the playoffs. The playoffs are fun, but it's like it's a little spread out a little bit more
when it's game decided.
Yeah, like, I don't know, because there's just so many games. I feel the same way with, like, baseball. There's just so many games.
It ends in October, November. That's so dumb. They should cut the season by a month.
Yeah, and I love
start it 30 days later or start in May.
Yeah,
we don't need April baseball.
Nah,
we don't need September baseball. Let's go May through August.
Yeah, with as many games as they have, I think it'd be better for everybody. I don't know. I love the way that, football. The way the football is set up. It's Thursdays, Sundays, and Mondays. But Thursdays and Mondays, it's only one game. There's, like, generally, I guess they change
all the
things
excitement,
up.
that build up.
Right. And then Sundays, it's just one day.
Yeah.
And instead of like, it's fewer and far between. Like, you don't have to watch on Thursday, you don't have to watch on Monday, but like people that like football, you watch on Sunday, right? Sunday night, even if you just watch one game, you watch Sunday night, or you watch a game during the day. Like, and it doesn't take, man, you can stay in touch with the sport with fewer days versus when you're like with baseball, there's a game every night of the week.
Yeah.
And if you want to stay in touch with the league, you got to watch all the time.
You have to be a true fanatic.
Almost the same with basketball, like NBA.
Yeah.
It's like, like you've got almost have to be like, there's games so often that you almost got to be like really into it to stay in touch. You're like, oh, I missed that game. What happened here? Or, I don't know. It's harder for me to get excited about and get engaged with.
Baseball's the perfect radio sport. Like, you could be driving your car,
True.
doing some chores.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's bottom ninth, then you go inside, watch TV quick.
Yeah.
But football, man, you got to watch every play.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's no other. Well, I don't know if you said this, but there's no other league that builds up their product like the NFL does.
No.
How they sell it and how they market it, it's unbelievable.
I think the other one that's like, they can rival football, that is growing. Maybe it can't rival. Man, there's a gnat that is in here right now, and it's driving me crazy.
I've noticed it all podcasts.
I know. I
was
can't.
I want to take out your brand new equipment here, bro.
Yeah.
Podcast number 4 done by a gnat.
Gnat. Dang it. Yeah, I don't know where it came from, but
he'll be back.
Annoying.
I just assumed gender. That was my bad. Maybe it's a she gnat.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. I can't tell you how to tell the difference between a boy or girl.
I'd have to ask my
Should
dad.
we Google that? Male. Let's Google it. What is the difference between a male and female gnat? All right. Good old Wikipedia has something for us here. It says a gnat is any of many species of tiny flying insects in the something, especially those in the families of something. They can be both biting and non-biting. Most often they fly in large numbers called clouds. Gnat is a loose descriptive category rather than a phylogenetic, I don't know, or other technical term. So there is no significance scientific consensus on what constitutes a gnat.
So we don't even know what the hell a gnat is.
Yeah, no. Male gnats often assemble in large mating swarms, or ghosts, particularly at dusk. Gnat larvae are most free. Yep. All right. Well, that was not productive.
Wait, no, they like to. If it's a big swarm, it's probably a bunch of dudes.
It sounds like it.
Just trying to find the kegger.
Yeah, they're like, where
are the chicks at?
Hey, where you at?
Hey,
girl. Hey, yo, girl, where you at?
They don't want none of that.
Yeah, the girls are like, I'm out. See you later.
I found a nice, wet little pond.
Yeah.
Y'all won't bug me.
There we go. Well, sorry. We cannot solve that mystery today, but maybe someday in the future.
That's why I'm a gym teacher, not a science teacher. It's a Melody Hendricks question.
Yeah. Hey, Melody.
Yeah.
I expect that to be in your lesson plans next year. Please differentiate between male and female gnats. Thank you very much. Oh, man. That's so funny. Did you guys find, so you and your fiance, did you guys find a venue?
Yeah.
That one that you posted a picture of?
South in Turtle Lake.
Okay.
Celebration at the Eagles. Yeah, just farm space.
In Shoreview?
No, so about...
been through this before.
Do you know where Cameron, Wisconsin is?
No, but I trust you.
Okay, so if you take Highway 8, it's about an hour and 20 from here.
Okay, so not too bad.
Not too bad.
But that's where you're going to do it?
Yeah. July 18th, 2020, bro.
Did you just know? Or was it...
We actually went to a couple different spots. We went all the way down to, damn near La Crosse. It was La Crescent or something.
Yeah.
That was a gorgeous spot, but too much money for what the...
Yeah.
Yeah, just once we were there, oh, yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting, like, the wedding world, and you jump into that, like, figuring out what is good and what you like, and um it's there's so many different ways that people like market to you as well, like with the location, um like just finding your venue. Like there's just different ways that people market to you. I remember one place that we went to, um like the guy just didn't want to like give me any like numbers while we were walking around and talking. And so for me, I'm just like, I need, I'm a mixture, right? I'm a feelings guy, but I'm also like, I need the numbers. So like I was super put off by that. By the time that I got back to the place, I'm like, dude, I just need to know the numbers. Like you whether we like it or not, it doesn't matter if I can't afford it. You know what I mean? Like
just jerking everybody's chain at this point.
Yeah, so like just tell me, like if I'm gonna ask, like just tell me. Like you don't have to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't ask, then you don't have to tell. Like I get that. But like I don't know. In the real estate world, when I was had my real estate license, when I was in that, we talked about like knowing each person and different personalities. Like some people are feelers and some people are the numbers people, you know, and kind of knowing the difference between the two is really important. And I feel like this was one of those that guy wasn't feeling that, but that was just like super off-putting to me, to like the fact that then it's like a la carte. So you've got, you know, like this one was, you could have a chandelier here, but you got to go through this company to get your chandelier, and that's a separate add-on thing, and they handle all of that. And so it just, that one got complicated. Or, you know, then you've got your like, well, this is the venue, you know, everything's on you, but this is what's available, and which is fine, which is good. And then you've got your all-encompassing ones that are like, we've got everything for you, and we want to charge you
package.
Yeah.
Do you want this one? Yeah.
Yeah, but we want to charge you everything.
Yeah.
Like, and then there's some that are like in the middle, like, hey, you can figure it out, and like if it fits within your budget, then great. And if it doesn't, then we can figure something out.
So how many spots did you and Dana check out?
I believe 4, which isn't very many. I don't feel like 3 or 4. Maybe
about 3 or 4 as well.
It might have just been 3. Once we Leopold's Mississippi Gardens is where we got married, and once we were there, I was like, this is it.
Sold.
Like, I've worked a lot of events and been a part of a lot of events, and so I kind of understand that world a little bit better. And I just had specific questions, you know. There were certain questions that I asked everybody, and like I was just curious about and interested in and wanted to know. And when I sat down with Leopold's, this was my selling point. Was, from my point of view, the selling point for me was they answered all my questions, they beat me to it, you know, like in their pitch. It was just like, this is what we do, this is why we do this, we've got flexibility here, we want to make your room smaller and make it feel more intimate, we can do this, we can move this curtain, you know. It had all the bells and whistles and had everything that we kind of wanted, and it still fit within our budget. And so that was like, well, don't need to look anywhere else. Like, as long as we can find a date that works for us at this venue, like, we're good to go. So that was, and sometimes that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the date.
For sure.
Because they book those things out so far in advance.
They really do.
Yeah, I mean, Leopold's had one of the nice things about Leopold's is, like, they gave you basically your planner, kind of help you through that process and making sure you had all your, like, answers, your questions answered. And yeah, they full service at everything. So it was great. It worked for us. It worked really well for us. There's just so many different like options and choices out there that's crazy. Does yours, like, do you have to like find all the extra stuff? Like, do they have like chairs for you? Do they have
thankfully it's same type of deal in their pitches. Like, we can go up to like yada yada number of people, and you know, if you want the table runners, we got the food, like
it's all little things, like
little things. It adds up.
The table runners, it's such a simple thing that you don't like think
Forks.
about. Forks. Do you have your own forks, or do I have to rent them?
Tableware or plateware, whatever you call it.
Do I have to rent glasses? Like some of those places, like legitimately, it was just a venue. Yeah. Here's the box. Here's the framework for your wedding. You got to figure out everything else out.
Good luck with the rest.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is doable, but you want to talk about stress. Like, that's just going to be another. I mean, we are stressed already, which I don't know anybody that isn't that's getting married, but trying to figure that out. We were stressed already, and we hadn't even, like, we didn't have to do a whole lot. They, like, had pretty much everything kind of covered for us. So
Peace of mind aspect, man.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Chance? Hey there, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
The goodest boy. Don't tell my dog he said that.
When are you, when is your, do you guys have a date yet?
July 18, 2020. So mark it on your calendar, man.
Woo!
Yeah.
2020, baby. July 18th. July's a good month.
Yeah, Devin's doing the photos July 10th.
Devin did my photos as well.
She's really good.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's great. She's a great human being. Stay tuned, folks, because I'm gonna have her on the podcast one of these days.
Nice.
Haven't reached out to her. Sorry, Devin. Josh is
voluntarily.
Josh came on first, but yeah, you gotta save the good ones. You know, no, I'm just kidding.
That's why I'm like fourth. I'm not the worst. I'm not the best.
Oh,
I know my place.
True.
It's all good.
That's not true at all. That's not true. No, we're just just trying to figure things out as we
I'm
go.
glad we could do this, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, I haven't used these too much, but I would like to have some fun with these. Would you like to have some fun?
I love fun.
I have
love
some
games.
would you rather questions. We did one with Josh, but we haven't done any since then.
Okay.
So I'm gonna open one up. You're gonna pick a
I'd
color.
like to think Room 151 kind of got the ball rolling on this.
Oh,
End of
those
the
would
year.
you rather.
That was
yeah,
us.
his classroom at the end of the year had these would you rather questions they'd post in the hallway, and then you could like, you almost had him, that little gnat. And then you could like mark which one, and it was like which one was best. These were pretty good, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pull from the middle, pick a color: red, blue, purple, green, yellow. They all have something different.
Let's go green.
Green.
Stay
Green
and
are
yellow thing.
ethics and intellect.
Business ethics.
I don't know. It says, would you rather have a child so smart and successful that he never needs nor desires your companionship, or have a child always in trouble and needs you to bail him out? That's so tough.
Man, I just don't have the energy to bail them out, or the finances. I ain't no Rockefeller here.
I think I'm with you. I think
like you can be a dick to me, but as long as you're not keeping your nose clean, you're a good citizen.
I think the key word is that you never need to, right? So like
I suppose. I guess
I think that you and I think that we'd always like reach out and be engaging with our children.
that's just how kids are too.
Yeah.
Parents are naturally going to do that, and kids are naturally going to want their independence. And
Yeah. So like it's okay that they don't need it, but
That's
they're gonna
true.
get it anyway.
Yeah.
Suckers.
that's true.
So
Little
all right.
brats.
Red, blue, purple, green, yellow.
Now, do I ask you one?
Go for it. I'll pick I know
You
that
saw
red
that
is
one.
like red is pain, I believe, right?
Fear, discomfort.
Let's do red.
Would you rather extinguish a piece of charcoal by putting it in your mouth, or hammer a nail in the board with your fist?
Ugh. Man, I love food so much. I would never want to interfere with my ability to like taste things in the future. I'll nail that nail into any board with my fist.
With your fist.
I don't need my fists. That sounds really painful though. Let's go the yellow one on that page.
All right. Would you rather never be able to masturbate again, or have to masturbate 5 times a day for the rest of your life? That's just a time commitment at that point. Like, who's got that time, man?
Oh.
Hey, nobody got time for that.
Wow, I didn't know this podcast was going to take this direction.
Well, that's the beauty of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Never again, or 5 times a day?
Never be able to jerk off again, or have to jerk off 5 times a day the rest of your life too. So you could be like 90, bro. 90 years old, and you still gotta puff one out.
Oh,
sorry, 5.
Whoa. I pass. I don't know. I feel like this just took another turn that I just can't go there. I was ready. Like, I don't know if you can see on the video, but whew, I'm definitely blushing on that one. I have no idea how to answer that question. I was trying to like think of a creative way to answer, but whew, I don't know that I can.
I mean, I think it would give us a good insight to your psyche if you try to answer that one.
Yeah, Dude,
It's a good pass. That's a solid pass.
I think I get one pass.
Yes.
I got
it's
one
your
more.
podcast.
I
You
got
go
one.
wherever the fuck you want.
I got one for you.
Okay.
I'm going to go blue, which is appearance and embarrassment. Would you rather run out of toilet paper in a public restroom or while at a date's apartment?
I'd say at the apartment.
At the apartment. That's where you're going?
See, at least they would have a shower.
Yeah, because you could come up, like, a lot of bathrooms, you could, like, find maybe, like, a rag underneath the sink or
something like that, yeah.
You could just barehand it if you had to.
If you're out of that single ply and you just barehand it, go. Hopefully they have soap too at the public restroom. Or if they don't,
I would hope.
Oh, they're just carrying peanuts the rest of the way.
Rough.
Yeah, I'm gonna say date's apartment.
Date's apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best. I think that's the best way too. Is the apartment.
By the way, I talked through all my answers. It's super annoying.
No, I think it's important. All right, one more. Authorize a dropping of an atomic bomb on a large civilian target or strangle a stranger with your bare hands.
No, I just did the first one on civilization this morning.
You
dropped an atomic bomb.
I was like, what? You're dropping atomic bombs, dude?
I don't got the clearance for that. Nor would I do it. No, what was the second one?
Authorize the dropping of an atomic bomb on a large civilian target or strangle a stranger with your bare hands. So
it's the classic it's one person versus 100-something thousand or whatever.
I know.
But you see the person's soul as you extinguish their life when you're strangling someone. So that's where we're at militarily wise. Like you can just press a button and you don't have to see. Like back in the day, at least when war was fought.
Yeah.
Like you had to see. For
it's 22 though, right? Because like, yes, there's an element of that, but is like more civilian life, like more people's lives, more casualty, because you have to do more hand-to-hand combat and like the aftermath of that.
Way bloodier, yeah.
Is that better than a drone? I mean,
although
you know what I mean, like that's the catch-22 that people in leadership like.
I'm gonna say technology is worse just because within the wrong. Plus, I've been watching way too much like crime TV. Like there's this one show. You see the Designated Survivor on Netflix? Kiefer Sutherland.
I've watched like an episode.
So paranoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm gonna turn libertarian. I swear by the end of season 3.
Have you ever watched on Netflix the what's it called? The show where it's like futuristic like things that take place. Not Blacklist.
Black Box?
No. Shoot. What's it called? They've got a couple different ones actually. On. I'm gonna look it up. Netflix. Black Mirror. That's what it is. I'm gonna have to get there.
Black Box is what they have in the airplane, right?
Right. But Black Mirror. So it's just like a bunch of. I think the mirror part is like reflecting society. So they do like these social, kind of like you're looking, but like the dark side of it.
Ooh.
So like they have one that, they have one that's like social media and it's all about like vanity essentially, and like you can like having your social population or like popularity, like your social popularity like goes up and up and up, and like how like its importance. They have one that's like a robot dog that like tracks people down and like hunts this like woman down. They have one that's like going back in your memory, like you can save your memories and other people can like access your memory or like access your stuff. Like crazy, but it's like these like social type experiment stuff. You gotta check it out. You talk about paranoid, you'll get real paranoid real quick. But it's awesome. It's like makes you think. You're like, oh, like would I do that? Like how would I respond in that situation?
So it's like a sociologist's dream.
Yeah, like they have one that you can literally like they have this, technology that they can go back and look at your memories to see how it played out. So like instead of a video of like they have a recording of you and like what took place, like a murder happened and you were there at some point in time, right? So then they can go back and look at your memories and be like, did you do it? and like see if you did it and like how it actually took place and like the part and like piece things together.
Snap.
Which is like cool technology, but also kind of terrifying.
Did you see the thing the other day? I think Rogan brought it up too, with the video editing, where they can completely doctor you saying something just by getting your image.
Yeah,
that shit is terrifying.
Yeah, just by getting your image, and then they can like make your lips and make your voice like sound exactly the same like as your voice, but you never did it. But
well, obviously the content's produced and people watch it. And
yeah, did you watch Rogan's podcast with Bob Lazar?
No, I need to catch up on that one.
That one's interesting.
Yeah,
it's definitely interesting. Stupid, it's still
so
in here.
Close.
Must be.
Go find your bunch.
Yeah, go find your bunch.
Unless it's the one trying to get away from the bunch.
Yeah, there's only one, so I don't know.
It's probably a strong possibility.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to find his bunch.
Steve Lazard. I'll definitely put that in the YouTube.
Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Bob Lazard.
Sorry, Bob.
He like worked in like one of the Area 51 like locations. It's not Area 51, but it was like a piece off of that, and he spoke out about it. And now, mostly because he got fired because his wife was having an affair on him. And because of like his wife and their fear. Oh, we got it. Sorry, vegans. The shrug of the shoulders. Perfect. No, but because they were fearful of how he would respond because of all of that, they ended up like having somebody follow him around, and they ended up like firing him because he got like spooked by people following, just a whole thing.
Damn,
whatever,
dude.
So anyway, but he knows all this information. Supposedly, like they've wiped his like education experience like off his record. So like just high up, like potentially doctoring and like messing around with stuff, which is kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. It's hard to know. You just never know.
Yeah.
Like people are telling the truth. I mean, he seems pretty honest, but he came out. There's a documentary out with Bob Lazar.
Of course, the FBI will never ever give their side of the story.
Nah, but you can't like blame them in some ways because they definitely do have technology, and that was kind of what he talked about. Like there's a piece of technology that he worked on that he's like the technology doesn't exist. Like it doesn't exist right now. It's like a UFO like saucer, like technology, but it doesn't have wires and it like operates on something completely different. He's like
solar energy or something weird.
It's not even that. It's
really.
Yeah. So, and apparently in this specific area, he knew like the flight patterns or whatever when they do the testing, and so he took some friends out there to like prove it, to show them, because he wanted to make sure that like that information got out there, and he thought that would benefit him. And now he's like, now I kind of wish like I would have never said anything.
Yeah.
He's like, it's just more hassle than it's worth, and I don't know. It was interesting, kind of fascinating. I feel like.
Did you see the one with Hunter, the guy that went down to South America, scientist, talked about the shaman, how the shaman made him like drink like this local green.
Yeah.
It was like a psychedelic something.
Okay, was it the
Hunter Galanti or something, or
the psychedelic? Was it not? I keep wanting to go yerba mate, which isn't.
Yeah, I forget. It was a fascinating story though. Guy said he's not religious at all, scientist to a T, but the shaman, he's like, before you go on this passage, you have to, you gotta talk to this guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he's the only one of the group of scientists that threw up. He said, and then the shaman said, "Okay, good." He said, "Good, yeah."
Yeah, because it was supposed to like clear him of evil.
The evil spirit is out of you.
Yeah, man.
And he said, and then Rogan's like, "Did you believe it?" Like, I don't know, man. Like, it worked.
Yeah, like I'm safe now.
Yeah,
so
like I didn't believe it before, but I don't know.
Have you traveled much?
Not south. Not even to Canada.
No.
Europe twice, Mexico.
Where in Europe?
We did a violin trip when we were 12.
Nice.
It's
I didn't know you played violin.
For like
That's
up
awesome.
to like junior high school.
Cool.
I can maybe play a couple songs now.
Yeah.
Still play saxophone, all right. Pick that up.
I played the saxophone when I was in middle school,
Right on.
freshman year of high school, and then I let that go. I wanted to play sports. And because our school is so small, I don't know how big your school is, but like our marching band and like if you were in band, you were in everything. You had to be in all of those. I didn't want to be in marching band. I didn't want to be in I love concert band. I thought concert band was really fun.
Sweet, yeah.
I also didn't practice hard enough to like really learn. I wasn't very good.
Marching band just wasn't that fun for me. I know Richardson really gets into it, and
that's fine. Like like to each their own. Like if
band.
people like same. I like concert band.
Because like you said, like we were so small in our school too. I got to pick and choose. Like we only did summertime and football. Well, I never played football. I did cross country.
Yeah. Well, and
this
then,
body somehow did cross country.
And then summer was supposed to like. You're supposed to go and do like the band camp, like legitimately like a band camp of like week. It was like a week that you came in and did.
Oh yeah, we did that, yeah.
But I just was like,
bro, we were so bad. We were the only like band at competitions not getting like 80s, 90s. Like Colfax 56, 62.
Yeah, I didn't do any.
Yeah, we suck, but
I didn't do any of those competitions. I never did. That wasn't really a thing. I wonder if they do it now at my school, in my old high school.
Yeah, it's one thing like when you know like you're good, but like when you know you're bad, like for that band director, that's a tough sell.
Right.
That's like
you're like, what do I gotta do?
We can't even do the basics. We're marching off beat.
Yeah.
He would literally say left, right, left. When I say left, your left foot hits the ground, and left, and people would be on the right all the time. It's like.
Painful.
Half of our, and then organizationally it was bad. Like half the people were in color guard. Like we need instruments.
Yeah.
We sound like crap. Doesn't matter how good we'll look with color guard.
Sure.
They weren't even that good anyway. So. No, I agree 100%.
I just didn't love all. I didn't want to have to do all the things. Right.
No.
And which didn't make me a great like band
soccer
member.
Is that summertime too? You got to play, and
So it was like soccer, like 2 a day. It was always like around that same time, and I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna choose this every time.
100%.
I'm not gonna show up. Like, sorry. Like I just had other things like going on. So yeah, I just didn't do that. I respectfully, I finished my freshman year, and I was like, it's time for me to move on, put a little focus on other things.
But no, I've been to Spain.
Oh, see,
Madrid.
I want to go to Spain.
Never, Segovia too.
Where's that?
South was Madrid. It was about an hour.
In Spain?
Yeah.
Okay.
That had like the aqueducts when the Moors built them.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
And then we went and saw like a factory, a loom factory, where they'd have the old ladies would put the cigarettes in between while they're working, in between the maker and these $1,000 rugs they're working with, and just smoking heaters and.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Saw an opera there. And I was
How's
walking.
that?
Everybody smokes in there. That was
Europe is a
interesting.
big smoking country, I feel like, in general.
Not my deal. I know Nelson does, or used to do operas. And opera work, but.
Oh, yeah, Nick.
Maybe I was just too young to appreciate it. But I like musicals.
I don't think I enjoy musicals.
Yeah.
I like going to, like, the Guthrie, another beautiful thing about Twin Cities. We kind of got off that, but Twin Cities is pretty awesome.
Biking, Guthrie.
Guthrie's awesome. The food scene in the Twin Cities.
Oh, unreal.
Amazing. But yeah, no, I like every time I go see a show at the Guthrie, I leave there and I'm like, I got to do more of this.
Yeah.
And then it takes me forever to get back. And I don't know. I said that the last time I was there. I took my mom and.
Well, it's not cheap either.
Yeah, it's true, but
it's a day.
They do have some good deals. Like you can do like packages that kind of lower your price. I mean, obviously it's an entry point that's a little bit higher than maybe you'd care to do, but it's so good. Like I enjoy it. I definitely do. I don't get to them enough. What other things do you like in the Twin Cities?
For sure, breweries.
Oh yeah,
that's something we never had. It's just dive bars and corner bars in Wisconsin, and I think they're starting to get on it too. But for sure, the Twin Cities, the brewery scene's crazy.
The brewery scene is large and expansive. Like, there's just so many breweries in Twin Cities and just in Minnesota in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Surly definitely helped and like led the way for some of that.
Oh, for sure.
With some of their new, like the laws that they helped get changed and amended and whatnot. But yeah,
they just started selling booze on Sunday.
I know.
That used to be so foreign, and like
we never had it in Indiana either. You couldn't do it. So
and the funny thing is, liquor store owners that were saying that they don't want to open on Sunday.
Right, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
I guess it's just a day off that they get, and then one more day they don't have to like worry about. But I would think that they would want those.
Well, I think it's just the liberalization of selling booze in general. Like if they start selling at convenience stores or like Quick Trip, like they do.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin, it's you're going to lose a little bit of that.
That's an interesting part too. So, fun fact for people that don't live in Minnesota, so your grocery stores. Like, you go into the grocery store, a lot of places in the country, you can go into the grocery store, they have a liquor aisle, you go through the liquor aisle, you buy what you want, put it in your cart, move on, right? Not here. You have to have a separate store. Mm-hmm. So, like, what they'll do, for instance, our local Target over here is, like, Target store, and then as you're leaving, there's a attachment that they built on that is, the liquor store, but it's technically like a separate entity. Like, you have to exit the store before you can get into that store. It's still attached to like the open, like the two sliding doors. But it's just interesting because, like you said, in Wisconsin, you can go to 7-Eleven or your gas station or whatever, and you can pick up a 6-pack or whatever you want.
Shit, at Walgreens they'll have booze aisle, wine.
Exactly. And usually a good selection.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, I forget about that whenever I until I leave here, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you can buy booze here. You can buy booze.
That's right. We're a bunch of drunks.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a culture for sure.
There is a culture, definitely a culture. That's an interesting thing though. I'm not privy to like the pros and cons of that. I don't really see why you wouldn't. As a business, I don't see why you wouldn't want to be open on a Sunday.
The only thing I could say is, all right, if we get to drive-through liquor stores, maybe we don't do that. That's just like
there is some drive-through liquor stores here in the Twin Cities. Yeah, I know there's one over on like what is it?
So that's okay, but not having the same.
Yeah,
section.
I don't know. I mean, I guess as long as you're not drinking it, right, and like driving, like that's.
I mean, I guess, the argument could be like, what's the difference? Like, you just put it in your car instead of, like, from the store, like.
Sure.
Just saving you time, I suppose, but it's just.
What's your take on drive-thrus in general? Do you like them?
We're fatter because of it.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. It's just easy, like, instead of going home and cooking something.
See, this is why I just don't find it easier. Like, even your fast food joints. Like, I don't like I hate going through. I feel way too much pressure and anxiety of like making sure I know, and I can't take my time at like figuring out the menu. If I go inside, if I go inside, I can take my time and be like, oh, go ahead, I don't know what I want yet.
Well, that's the other part of it too. Like, the people are like,
right,
what do you want? And then they'll ask the two kids in the back, what do you want? Like,
right,
if you're gonna do that, go inside.
And the classic thing is like, you get your food back, and you're like, oh, I didn't get my fries. Where whenever you go in, you can be like, yep, got everything, good to go.
Meanwhile, there's 6 cars deep waiting.
Yeah, it's just, and I hate that pressure. Like, I hate the pressure of like, I don't like drive-thrus. I'm a big fan. I'll do it.
Neither.
I'll do it if I have to. But have you used some of those like the different apps like Bite Squad and?
We tried a couple times, specifically with the promotion stuff.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, Dana and I have used it too a few times. It's convenient.
Yeah.
You definitely are upcharged for it.
Especially if you're less like lazy Sunday, if you had a couple beers and you don't want to drive anywhere, if like the game's on.
Yep.
That's a perfect time. It's when the game's on.
Perfect time. Yep. And it takes delivery to a whole nother level. And it's not too much more expensive. You can be kind of picky and choosy with where you go, like DoorDash and some of those like different places. I can't.
Yeah, I've used DoorDash and then Bite Squad's the one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've used it a few times. We actually did that the moment I was telling you about over at Lake Calhoun. We did, we ordered DoorDash, and we just put in the address for the house that was across the street and put in the notes, like, we're sitting in the park. Like,
that's awesome.
Keep an eye out for you.
See, that's creative.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm packing, peanut butter sandwiches, and you're getting a pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, you should
pretty
also,
sweet.
however, we actually got Indian food, but you should always tell them that you want silverware. You would think that if it's to go that they would bring you silverware, but we did not have silverware. Luckily, it was Indian food. We got some naan. We just used our fingers and did it traditionally.
There you go.
It worked out. It's fine. It was good. Delicious.
I have a very weak stomach, so Indian food is not something I've really messed around with.
Favorite food? Do you have one?
So, like, going out to eat, I love Italian, Mexican food. Go to, like, good old spaghetti meatball dinner. Some green beans and...
You and Dana should be like BFFs, because spaghetti is like her favorite thing.
I love pasta, man.
Yeah. Growing up, she, like, didn't have a lot of, like, spaghetti, so now, like, she loves it.
Yeah.
It's like, I can always know.
Bales hate spaghetti, so I'm like,
Really?
I never get to cook it. Yeah.
Man.
But she loves chicken parmesan, so I'll make some
there you
chicken
go.
parmesan, some noodles for myself.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's
good.
the way
But
to
I
do
just
it.
want a good old meatball dinner. So when, like, the boss made us some, she's a pretty good cook, by the way.
Yeah.
Were you there that day?
Huh.
She made a meatball dinner, like, handmade meatballs,
Oh.
and, like, she made the pasta herself.
See, that's something I want to dabble in. That's something I want to try.
She made, like, her own sauce with it.
I want to try, like, just, like, making my own pasta. You know, you could do, like, there's some pastas that are, like, a little more simplistic than others to do. I just think it'd be fun to, like, be able to, like, do it. Like, I don't need, like, a pasta maker necessarily.
Have you taken a cooking class before?
I never have taken a cooking class.
Me and Bales have been talking about that'd be something fun
That'd be
to
fun.
do.
Yeah, let me know. Dan and I, I'm sure, would be interested.
Nice.
We've talked about it, but I grew up, my grandma was a head chef or head cook at elementary school for over 30 years.
Wow.
So, like,
That's a tough job.
She reminds me of the lady at our school so much. She's got the short hair. Like,
sweetest
every time
lady.
I see her, I'm like, that's my grandma.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had that growing up, and then my mom obviously learned from my grandma. And so between those two, like, growing up, and my dad's a great cook too. Like, I've just been surrounded by, like, really great, like, cooks in my life, and so I've just been able to observe and watch. And, like, if I have questions now, I'm like, hey, grandma, like, how do I do this? Like, hey, I'm at this point, but I'm confused as what I'm supposed to do next. Like, oh, you just do this, you do this, you do that. Perfect. Sweet, thanks. You know, or like, man, your mashed potatoes were always different than everybody else's. What is it that you do differently? You know?
The answer is usually more butter.
Oh, you can't go wrong with
Grandmas
butter.
love putting butter in food.
Yeah. I remember one of the first things I started, like, fixing on my own was a over easy egg, or like sunny side up.
How do you make yours? I always go scrambled.
Scrambled?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I mix that up. I think my dad taught me how to scramble eggs. You know, the little bit of milk, you got a little salt and pepper, all that in there. It keeps them nice and moist and fluffy. I like scrambled eggs. It all depends. Honestly, like, I could go, it just depends on what I'm feeling that day. I like omelets. I like over easy. I like sunny side up. I don't like it being, like, slimy on the top if it's sunny side up. So, like, you know, you gotta kind of get creative and, like, splashing the butter up there to kind of get some of that.
My dad does a mean poached egg whenever I was sick.
See, that's
something I never learned how to make. Something I gotta learn how to make.
It's
not
terrible.
Yeah.
It's easier than it looks. It seems like a really, like, complicated, like, thing.
For real.
It's really not. You could do it. It'd be fine.
All right.
But yeah, that was one of the first things.
What's your favorite meal, bro?
I love seafood. I just like good food. Favorite probably like some sort of seafood dish, you know. I love, like, crab legs, oysters, lobster. Like, I got expensive taste, but I like all that stuff. Salmon, fish, like, I love that. I don't know. We actually, so last night, Dana and I, so yesterday was by friends of Anthony Bourdain and, like, chefs of that Anthony Bourdain worked with.
Anthony Bourdain Day, isn't it?
Anthony Bourdain. It was yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday. Okay.
Yeah. So Dana got home and I was like, "Do you want to celebrate? Like, let's spend some money and, like, let's go and get a meal." In Bloom, St. Paul, the one over at Keg and Case.
Oh yeah.
It's not terribly priced, honestly. Like you can get a average price meal, right? I think mine was $15, or something like that. But just out of this world. It was so good.
Yeah.
Delicious. She got some sort of like venison something. And hers might have been like $15-$16 as well. So you're like in for $30-$40, $50, but I don't know. Yeah, that was something.
What's the name of that place?
In Bloom.
In Bloom.
St. Paul. It's in Keg and Case, which is got just a bunch of
We've been there once.
It's awesome. Yeah, definitely check it out. I mean, it's worth checking out and worth going to. The service was amazing. We had this this waitress that we had. She was so fascinating. I was talking to Dana about this because, right now, this podcast is in my basement. So, hey, dude, stop licking. So right now, this podcast is in my basement. It's in the back corner of my basement, and it's an intimate setting. It works for what we're doing here right now.
Yeah.
But this is what I was asking Dana. I was like, how do I get people I don't really know, or like people that are respected? Like, how do I get them on the podcast without being like, come on over to my house, into my blanket room? You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of a it's not creepy, but like,
first, if I wouldn't know
intimate.
you, it'd be like, okay, what's the podcast about?
Yeah.
Is that door locked or unlocked?
Right. And I get it, like 100%, right? Like, that's what I'm saying.
Although
like,
the duck photo with the drink, that makes me feel at ease. That really ties the room together.
Yeah, I don't know if... Hey, so while we're doing this, I'm gonna show the audience on the YouTube. You guys haven't seen it, but this is awesome. So you see the picture here. It says sitting duck. And the duck has his sunglasses on, and he's looking at these two bullet holes to the right of his head, and he's looking at him with his sunglasses on, and he's got like a Coca-Cola or like something like in his hand in a glass with a straw, and at the bottom it says in quotes sitting duck, and it's a bettered. You've seen the duck before, that image.
The Bedard series is great, yeah.
Bedard. That's pronounced.
Bedard.
Bedard.
If you're from
But I love it. I found this at like a yard sale or garage sale or whatever, and I was
fantastic buy.
$1, yeah, give me that. Give me that. That's awesome.
I think of Hunter S. Thompson for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like he's taking aim. Oh my God, Buckley showed me that clip of Conan O'Brien taking Hunter S. Thompson gun shooting.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's a great clip.
I haven't seen that. I wonder if you can pull it up. What is it?
Conan O'Brien. I think it's on, I forget what year it was. It's obviously when it's still kicking Thompson.
And Hunter Thompson. Let's see what we can find here.
He hated that Doonesbury character, man. He sued over that. So I think that he used that as target practice in the videos. Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
Hunter S. Thompson videos. Let's see what the videos got. Drink hard liquor and shoot guns. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's the one.
A description like that. They drink hard liquor and shoot guns. This to be full screen. Thank you. Skip the ad.
One of the strangest guests I've probably had on the show was the legendary author and creator.
Good old Conan O'Brien here.
Hunter S. Thompson.
He got jerked around.
Hunter Thompson cultivated a reputation not only for his erratic behavior, but for producing some of the best writing of the last century, including Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Now, I really wanted to have Hunter on our late night show, and I wanted him on for a long time, but he always refused.
Okay.
He didn't want to come to the studio.
He didn't want to come.
All right. He finally.
You got to go to him.
On our show, but only if it was a remote segment. And I met him on a farm, this is all true, in upstate New York to shoot guns and drink hard liquor. That's what he said.
Rough life.
I think he probably expected me to say, well, that's not going to happen. I said, all right, let's do it. We brought a camera crew. Here's what happened. I think they're ready over on the firing range. Should we head over that way? Yeah. And the idea is you're going to instruct me in how to
He's got his
blow things to hell.
Hunter Assumption's got his liquor glass in his hand.
Cigarette in the other.
Cigarette in the other. There is it's like a makeshift bar that's like out here in the middle of nowhere, like at the gun range.
He's just on the board to the top.
With a bartender. Conan just takes a shot.
Yeah. Loosen us up, Hunter said.
I feel like I've just been inspired, so.
Hells yeah. No, Hunter's got the good old.
There's a halfie there. You know what? Got more.
So you can hear the machine gun.
Yeah, break it down for us.
Yeah, Hunter and Conan are shooting at the Doonesbury character that Hunter has ticked about.
Targets that he chose to make his art. Now we're going to be shooting at some targets that I have more of an interest in. We have the NBC
Conan's got the NBC logo.
The ape, this FAO Schwartz ape, will really fly apart. We've strapped lots of paint to him. We're going to light up like a Christmas tree. Hunter has just requested a propane canister.
Oh my god.
That man was holding a machine gun.
Can't find the cigarettes, that's the deal.
Oh, man. Whoa.
That's the best fucking line. I'll teach that bear.
Yeah, you gotta. I like the safety guy just said, move your whiskey before you start shooting.
You dirty animal. Oh my gosh. Oh!
There we go.
Perfect shot. Best shot of the day.
Inspiring drunk uncles everywhere in America.
And now the bear is on fire. Monkey is on fire. They've got like a bust. What do you call those? Like the character or like sports figures.
Oh, like their it's not their
You know when they have like the big posters, but they're like
cardboard cutouts or
yeah,
whatever.
the cardboard cutout. They have some like sports guy. That's so funny. Man, I've mentioned this now a couple times. Oh, I gotta hand this out. All right, so first off, we're going to enjoy a little proper 12 Conor McGregor style,
Conor.
but I ran out, so it was only half. So I topped one half proper 12, half Fireball, and then the other one's just straight Fireball. Do you have a preference?
You know, I've never done half cinnamon.
Yeah,
I know what Fireball tastes like. If you don't mind.
There you go. Half
Thanks,
it off.
man.
All right. Well, for you guys
Excuse me, podcast
out there, we're just gonna enjoy a little drink. It's late in the afternoon. It's just time.
It's beer 30 for sure.
Yeah. I mean, my phone says 6.
Oh, really?
6:11.
Man,
Just
time
turned
flies by
6:12.
when you do this thing.
Time flies by, man. We're 80 minutes in.
It
Less than
doesn't
10
feel
minutes
like
left.
it. Wow.
Yeah.
Is there any other things that usually heavy guests do, or like any other games or any questions?
Man.
I feel like I've been so off topic. I'm sorry.
No, we've just been all over the place, but I think that's fun. I mean, that's what I like this want it to be, is just we just talk about life, you know? We were on topic in the beginning, you know, talking about special education and your experience with that. And I mean, there's not really a topic. I kind of like just the free flow and just see where a conversation goes, and whether it's we look up a video and talk about the video or...
We're talking about me. How's your how's game plan for Florida going for you, man?
Yeah, shoot. It's an interesting world. Yeah, it's just a process. I'm honest, I'm gonna like wait on getting into it too much.
Tease it.
I'm
Okay.
gonna tease it out a little bit.
All right.
Mostly, I'm just kind of waiting for
answers and
for some answers and some more stuff. So the process is moving along. But
how's soccer? You still playing that?
No, our last game was done finished while we were still in school, and
it's a short season.
Yeah, and I kind of joined. Like, I guess there was only one game that had taken place, but I got hurt so much, man. This year,
you were banged up.
Man, I hurt both ankles. I hurt my right ankle early with wrestling, like when I was coaching, and eventually got over that. But man, I really jacked it up then. I'm still dealing with it. And then I hurt that same ankle again, like playing soccer when I was on this intramural team or whatever, this indoor team. And then started to move past that, and then I like hurt my other leg and like my other ankle, and I was just like, what is going on? I've never been hurt more in like a year period of time, or even like less than that, 6 months probably, like 6-month period of time that I have like probably my entire life. So something
I can relate.
Like I was really frustrated with it. I don't do being injured well.
No.
Like I just don't like being not at full capacity. Like that's just my thing. Like I know what I'm capable of, and if I can't function at that like top level, like I just get frustrated and I get annoyed in some ways.
That's so true though. Like I'm getting to that age too. I know if I go 100%, I'm gonna pull something because I just don't stretch like I used to. I'm not in shape like I used to.
But I don't like not going 100%. I'm just an all-in kind of guy. Like
that's how my mentality was too. You play hard, you practice hard, you play the same way.
It's not that I'm not having fun. It's not that I can't back off being competitive. I will match the competitive level of wherever I'm at, right?
For real.
Like I had to train myself in that because I am naturally like super competitive.
Soccer
I want to win.
is a sport you could definitely tell, like everybody's vibe.
And
like
this league was, it's a bunch of older guys that wish they still had it.
Yeah.
But they went hard, man. It wasn't that you didn't go hard. And there was a couple times, like the first time that I hurt my ankle, it was a 50-50 ball against the goalkeeper. So we came out and went 50-50. Both of us hit the ball at the same time, and unfortunately, like I kind of won the like trade, like the exchange, I guess. But at the end of the day, like I like laid down, and like as soon as I hit the ball, and like I tried to go and like try to get it in the net because it's in a hockey arena, like our hockey ice arena deal. It just got turf over top.
Oh yeah.
So like there's no like out of bounds behind it except for like if it goes certain like distance above or like it hits the net.
It's like a goal kick or whatever.
Yeah, but like you can kick it kind of like around the ice piece. I don't know what you call that. The ice arena, like the walls or whatever. We play off the walls and stuff, and so it was like right against the wall. And like I tried to like kick it because I kind of got it over his foot, and then he was out away from the goal, so I was trying to get to that direction. But as soon as I like went towards that, I was like, I just dropped because it hurt so bad.
Oh man!
And I couldn't like put any pressure on it. So yeah, that one sucked.
I've only had one ankle injury like that. It's basketball.
Yeah.
Like when you put pressure on it and it just gives out, like you say, like you know right away, and you're like, this is not a day. This is a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I knew right away I did something bad.
High ankle or low?
It was low. It kind of in 2 different spots.
Well, that's the worst part. If it's low at one spot, then that's not bad.
Yeah, it was in both spots. Like, and then the other one was. The funny thing is I got called for a foul in the second one, and I got kicked, which was like kind of funny to me. Like I got the ball, and I got kicked, and I got called for a foul. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't make sense, but yeah,
not that important. But a little frustrating. And with that one, I not only did I like sprain the ankle, slight. I think that one was a little higher sprain, but that one was like up on my calf, like on the outside of my calf, and like the muscle. So the muscle like swelled up and bruised up so much, it like felt like it was like pulling like away from my shin.
Calf muscles are so hard to stretch out.
You can't. So bad. Like it felt like you were knocking on this table right now.
Yeah.
Like, it hurt so bad. That one was.
And good luck sleeping a solid 7 hours. You just wake up every hour going, oh,
dude, call me a baby, whatever you want. But I cried, man.
Yeah.
That one hurt. Like I had plans that night or the next night, and I was like, I went to school the next day, and I tried to like do stuff and walk, and when I got home, it just swelled up even more and was like worse, and it was just throbbing and like hurting so bad, and I couldn't do anything. I had maxed out on all the ibuprofen and Tylenol I could take. My theory was that it was just muscular. Like I just thought it was the muscle that I had bruised, but like just a deep muscle bruise. But I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like I can't take any more medicine. You know, like I could go to the hospital, but they're just gonna run an X-ray. They're gonna tell me exactly what I know. Nothing's gonna change between today and tomorrow if I go in, right? So like, I think I took the next day off from school, and then I was like, if it doesn't improve, if it doesn't get better, I have to go the next day. Like on the Friday, it was like a Wednesday that I like went to school, hurt, crazy, bad. Thursday, I took the day off, went to, just sat on the couch all day long, and was like, if it doesn't improve, if I'm still in pain, I have to go. Like I have to.
Meanwhile, Dana's like, just go in.
She wanted me to go to the hospital like Wednesday night,
yeah.
And I was like, I understand what you're saying.
Right. I
get it. I'm not ready to do that yet. And I'm just, at the end of the day, like a lot of times I know what the doctor's going to say. I could know my body really well, and I know the muscular, like I've been in sports for a long time. Like I've been hurt, I've gone through different things. So like at the end of the day, like generally I'm pretty like knowledgeable about some of those things. And I just knew that like if it was going to progress, then we're good to go. Right. And it did. By like after Friday, like things had progressed, and Thursday things had progressed, and I was like, it's not hurting as much today. I just kept it up, stayed off of it. The more I was on it, the more it hurt. But and then back to school on Friday, through the weekend, everything was good, and ultimately it was fine. I didn't go to the doctor, and that foot's totally fine. I don't bother. My right foot's still messed up. I just think it's just time. I mean, it's a sprain, and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should have gone. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I didn't. So
it's unnecessary doc bill.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just hate going. I hate going.
I'll go to the dentist, but I mean,
yeah, I'm bad about that.
Unless I'm getting a colonoscopy, which not for another 10 years. Like,
I know. That's a whole nother world. But my grandfather had cancer in that area.
Yeah.
My dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer several years ago and beat that. So like it runs in my family, so I'm very like hyper aware of like that whole process of knowing that that's something I have to like take care of myself and make sure I do. But I don't know. Hey, we're at 89 minutes, which is my cue that it's time to say goodbye.
Goodbye, y'all. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex, it's been really fun. Talked about a lot of different things. I really appreciate
you, man, and all that you do.
Yeah, I really appreciate you.
You're a special
being
person.
on here.
Seriously, bro.
Thank you. It means a
We're
lot.
gonna miss you at South, and just in general in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Now you got a place to come visit, though.
Fuck yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget, do good, make a difference in the world. Find a way. There's simple ways out there, different things. Just say hi to somebody. Tell your friends you appreciate them. Tell the people you love that you love them, and check on those happy people out there. Thank you. Peace. We love ya. Bye. 89:59. Doesn't get any closer than that.
Wow.
Goes by fast though, huh?
That was really fun. I would do that again in a heartbeat. That was sweet. Chance, what do you think? Chance the doggo?
Tim's like, oh, you guys are done? Finally. Finally. I've been stuck in here all day. Not really all day.
Oh, bro, you see the pig just?
Oh, where's that? Oh, see, I would eat the fuck out of that.
Right?
What's this?
He's
down next
south.
trip.
Yeah.
It's down south. Ah. Well, I've got everything on here. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much. I forget that you're still here. It's shaking because Chance's tail is
pumping things. Come here, dude. Get on the podcast. Come here.
Oh, the handsome
Oh.
boy.
Here he is. The Chancy Poo in the studio. Can I get kisses? Thank you. Such a good boy. All right. See you later, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.